days I'd be sitting here feeling this way. My heart is half in my stomach, the rest is on the floor. And don't you think you can easily walk away? You promised me the sun, you promised me the moon and the sky. Everything you promised was just a lie. You said it was fine, I was out of my mind. I was taken to the cleaners and hung out to dry. There you are making advances, acting like a fool and romancing. Telling truth is something you just can't do. Once deceived, twice bitten. You broke my heart, yes I was smitten. Everyone that knew is as guilty as you. You promised me the sun, you promised me the moon in the sky. Everything you promised was just a lie. You said it was fine, I was out of my mind. I was taken to the cleaners and hung out to dry.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to It Matters Radio special Sunday musical guest interview. I just want to remind everybody that we have switched our times from 3 p.m. Eastern Time to 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which will be 4 Pacific Time. So if for some reason you can't make the shows, we will have them up in our YouTube musical guest playlist. And try to make it easy for you to watch when you can. But we do love to have you on the live shows. So go to Vaughn Live TV, It Matters Radio, and you'll be able to catch our shows 7 p.m. every single solitary day. All right. I think all of you know Kerry Hall, if you've been here before.
Hello.
And Kerry does a wonderful job as our musical guest interviewer, or host, as I should say. She puts a lot of work into it, and I'm always happy to see Kerry's face. So hello. And Kerry, man, I see such a wonderful woman sitting here with beautiful, beautiful red hair. Okay, well, I have to know who she is.
This, my dear friends and viewers, is the very talented, multi-talented Dianne Meinke. She is a singer, she is a songwriter, she is a musician, and she is a producer, and she is an artist.
Wow.
So she's like a woman of many hats. Hi, Dianne, and welcome to the show.
Hello, Dianne.
Great. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
So, Dianne, I want to start out for way back. How did you first get into music? I mean, you had your art background. What made you go, yeah, I really want to do music?
Uh, Actually, it was simultaneous. I used to draw on the walls and my desk in my bedroom and drive my mom crazy.
I remember
And
that, yes.
at the age of 4, I started wanting an instrument, and they said, "You're too young to take lessons. Here's like a little penny flute." um, so from there, I kept pestering because I wanted to take piano, I wanted to take guitar. So then they handed me a violin, and I learned how to play violin. I played in the junior high band. And then I said, okay, I want to learn something else. And they handed me a clarinet, and I learned how to play it. And before you knew it, I was in senior high. I was playing just about every position wherever they needed me in the band. I mean, it was percussion, I was playing violin, I was playing clarinet, I was playing flute, I was playing trumpet.
Wow.
Yeah, so my mom worked really hard. She finally did get the money together to send me to take lessons on the piano when I was 9. The lady's name is Mrs. Keller. She's no longer with us, but she recognized my writing ability too. So she would take the hour and split it in half, and she would teach me how to notate and write out my own music, and then the other half she would spend on classical music training, and how to sit, all the nuances. And then she went to my mom and she said, well, this lady, this your little girl, she needs to be in the piano guild. So I auditioned for the piano guild, and I was accepted. I got like a 94%. I was 9 years old at the time.
Outstanding. Yeah.
Yeah, and I did really well in the guild for many years. So
Wow.
I
Wow.
left when I was 23 because it was time to go to college.
Yeah. You know, Diane,
Right.
it sounds like you were born to do this. I mean, from such a young age to be requesting this from your parents, and you wouldn't be quiet about it. You kept after them, right?
I was an egg. Yeah.
Then the art came along. Now you said it was simultaneously. Talk a little bit about your interest in art, because you have done a few albums, and there are some pictures I believe that you've actually done. And you worked in such a colorful medium. What made you go, yeah, I really like this art stuff?
Like I said, I really admire Jimi Hendrix, and I've read his story in his book, and I actually know his Ricky Hendrix is a friend of mine.
Yeah.
It's his cousin, and I've actually met through another gentleman the guys that own the biggest collection of Jimi Hendrix's art. And one of the fascinating things about Leon's book is that Jimmy really loved his art more than his music. He really did not want to play music, believe it or not. He wanted to be a graphic artist, and I was very much the same way. I love my music, don't get me wrong, and it's like something I gravitate to, but at the end of the day, the thing that really calms me is when I do my art.
Yeah.
I can see why. Yeah.
Uh,
But I think a lot of that artistic ability came through in Hendrix's music because he was so different.
Yeah,
He stretched the limits, and that had to come from somewhere else within him to do that. So, I
absolutely. I have a friend here. Would you mind? Could you grab one of the paintings off the wall, Rudy? Um,
oh yeah, we'd love to see that.
uh, the favorite one right now is Top Cat. Um,
Ah,
I love animals. I have several myself, and
we
this
love you already, Diane. We're cat owners. We cat lovers here.
well, I love
um,
dog. I have dogs also, Carrie.
Oh,
So
that's right. You got
yeah,
it. Sorry.
I like.
Oh, Oh, that is a cool cat.
It's beautiful. Now, do you do pastels or do you do pencil or acrylic?
Well, I gravitate actually to, and I've tried everything, of course, but I gravitate. Oh, here's another one. Yeah,
Put
this
both of them.
They make
this
it,
one,
Put both of them.
huh?
Put both of them.
Oh yeah, put them both. This one, you have to almost look at it. Can you see it's a head of a puppy dog?
yes, I can.
Yes.
I can.
Uh, and this dog actually belongs to there's my radio promoter, Larry Weir, and his wife, Masika. I got to, them out there. I did not get a chance. This is Bailey.
Hi,
Uh,
Bailey.
and he has the sweetest eyes. So that's what this is called. This is called Sweet Eyes.
You
And
capture those well. Yeah.
thank you. And I love the work with bright colors. My favorite medium is acrylic.
It's acrylic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I do is I do some unconventional things that I mix it with, and I use a lot of construction products. One's called Elastomerican, and it's an acrylic based. It almost looks like frosting. You mix it with that because acrylic typically has a very dull color.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
look when it dries. So I use the Elastomerican with the acrylic paint, and then I go over it with a Mod Podge glaze. So then you get the shiny look. And
Oh,
the
it's
color just
great.
pop.
Yeah, I know
I ha-
because I like doing acrylics, but I tend to go towards the oils because of the vibrancy. But look what you're getting from mixing the medium that you are. It's beautiful.
It's really gorgeous.
Very
And
vibrant.
of course, behind me, since we're on the subject, there's a painting, the
There's
painting
Jimmy.
of Jimmy. I did a commissioned work for the Van Huvels, which own the largest collection of Jimi Hendrix art in the world.
Wow.
And the commission was what they had been looking for years was a painting of him in an art studio with several blank canvases, and inside he inserted three of his original pieces.
Wow,
Wow.
that's
And
one of a
this is the
kind.
one that was in Las Vegas, up in Caesar's Palace,
Uh-huh.
in the Gallery of Music and Art. It was up there. It fronted the display of
Mm.
Jimmy's originals.
You have to be
Wow.
you have to be so proud of yourself for that, and what a tribute to Jimi Hendrix also.
Right. Right.
Absolutely. I'll bring this back down. Sorry.
I don't
There you
think
go.
I don't think you could have given him a better gift than that. I think he's looking down on you saying thank you, Diane.
Yeah, really, for
Yeah,
sure.
you
So,
definitely.
Diane, you have, and let me make sure I said this properly. You have, at one point, 26 songs charting internationally. That's pretty amazing. Talk a little bit about that. Oh, and there's your doggy. Talk a little bit about that.
Sorry. Yes.
He's so cute.
The other part of me a lot of people don't know about is all the other genres that I do. I really focus on, and it's very important that you brand what you're doing and you kind of stay with a groove. Because your audiences are often looking for a specific type of music. So if I was to tell you that I do gothic industrial rock, some of my pop fans wouldn't understand, I think. I don't think they would, because when I do that music, I don't look anything like this.
I bet.
I got you.
And I also dabble in many other genres. At that time, just before I received my platinum record, my first platinum record, which they're in here too. So I'm going to swing around here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, let's take a look.
Oh,
There's
Beautiful.
there, and then behind me, up on the mantle. See if I can get them all, both of there.
Yeah.
See the other- Okay.
wow.
Those, and I have golds too. So I that time I had um, new age, classical, rock, pop. That's what made up those 26 songs.
Wow.
And
Amazing.
and four
Amazing.
different
And also, and again, I have to refer to my notes because I want to be accurate. You had two #1 hits in 2013, Adieu and The Secret. Tell us a little bit about those two songs.
Yeah, Adieu, it hit #1 on the Independent Music Network. And by the way, I'm all about independent music. You
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm. So are we.
there's a lot of good music out there in that pool. But I mean, the I Heart You album, which I have right here as well. And it was the same thing. Judd and I did a collaboration on the artwork.
Cool.
Adieu and what was, I'm sorry, the other one that you were asking about?
I believe it's called The Secret.
Oh, yeah, that was a very popular tune on this. This, I would say, was the breaking album for me getting the deal with Warner Chappell, South
Wow.
America.
Very-
Both those songs occupied. There was one more, Give Me a Kiss. Well, actually, there were 7 #1s on this album. Give Me a Kiss actually stayed up and stayed at #1 for 14 solid weeks.
Who can say
Well-
that? Who can say that? Unless you're the Beatles or somebody, you know.
Yeah, really.
Oh, bad.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Because nobody else had a chance to get up there, you know. I'm all about supporting each other. And,
Yeah.
Yes.
But it worked. I can't argue with it.
No,
No,
not
no.
at all. Not at all. Well, I'm going to take a break right now because I think we need to listen to a little bit more of Dianne's music, and then we'll be right back and we'll chat some more.
Never been the type to say what I feel. I keep everything inside. With you, it was no different. Wanted to tell you, and I've tried. There's a part of me that just can't take that chance. I doubt you'll ever know. Which may be fine with you, but it's killing me. So I choose not to let it show. I'm your secret lover. That name fits so right. Don't know what I love about you. You're on my mind day and night. There's a part of me that just can't take that chance. I doubt you'll ever know. Which may be fine with you, but it's killing me. So I choose not to let it show. You say my name. Maybe it's the way you smile. Then again, it might be just everything. Getting to know you is worth my while. There's a part of me that just can't take that chance. I doubt you'll ever know. Which may be fine with you, but it's killing me. So I choose not to let it show. I guess I'll never know what it is, what You can always play the victim, feeling sorry for yourself. Or learn from these experiences, put the trophies on the shelf. If life gives you lemons, make lemonade. You can take what life throws at you and let it turn you sour. If life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Hold on tight, enjoy the ride, make the most of every hour. What happens to us makes us who we are, experiences good or bad. If you let the bad times drag you down, they'll slowly drive you mad. Seize all of life's opportunities, make the most of all your lot. To you it may seem hopeless, to others it's all they've got. If life gives you lemons, make lemonade. You can take what life throws at you and let it turn you sour. If life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Hold on tight, enjoy the ride, make the most of every hour. You can always play the victim, feeling sorry for yourself. Or learn from these experiences, put the trophies on the shelf. What happens to us makes us who we are, experiences good or bad. If you let the bad times drag you down, they'll slowly drive you mad. If life gives you lemons, make lemonade. You can take what life throws at you and let it turn you sour. If life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Hold on tight, enjoy the ride, make the most of every hour. If life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Hold on tight, enjoy the ride, make the most of every hour.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to It Matters Radio. We are talking to Dianne Meinke, singer, songwriter, producer, artist. She's just an amazing woman, especially, and like I said, a woman of many hats. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the producer end. What happens for you at the producer end of the music?
Well, there, I think I need to start with who mentored me as far as production. I mean, I was doing my own production before I met this man, but he took me to a whole nother level. Little Bobby Farrell, he actually had a hit, I don't know if you ladies remember, called Harbor Lights, and he was friends with Patsy Cline and Jim Reeves in the day.
Sure.
And I got the chance to meet actually Hank Garland and his brother Billy, the one that wrote Sugarfoot Rag. They live outside of DeLand, Florida. He took me through quite the lesson of how to be a good producer, and the most important part of that is your ear. You know, if you listen, it's very important to listen. And then, he would teach me to cup my hands around my ear. What do you sound like, Dianne? Now make the EQ for your voice sound like that. And very important it's not a secret, and I would love everybody to know, is first thing you do when you produce is you EQ the artist's voice. And you find that perfect EQ, and then you EQ all the rest of the music to that EQ. You'll have a wave, right?
Hmm.
And the problem with a lot of productions is they do it the other way around. They try to EQ the person's voice to the instruments, and then
Yes.
you don't get the blend. You don't
Mhm.
hear the lyrics really well. It just sounds really muddy. It just sounds not right.
Mhm.
And so I started learning how, to produce, really produce when I worked with Bobby, and he taught me some of these simple techniques in the studio. The other thing is how to pan. You want to pan, your instruments as you would see them on a stage.
Mhm.
Close my eyes, and where would I put the, violins? Where would I put the piano? Where would I put the drums? And so I would pan them as I would see them on the stage. Last thing I learned about production, and actually the most important thing, is when you talk into a mic, you have to speak as though you're speaking to your audience. Who's the story for, right? And you know what? They do feel that energy when you do that. And I'm definitely not a Celine Dion when I sing, but you know what? I definitely try to deliver the message so people feel it in their heart.
Oh, I think you do that so well. And that is the most important thing. Um, People can tell when something is real and true and comes from you, and it
Yeah.
speaks directly to them, to each person in the room. Yeah, so
And when you get
important.
that feedback, it's just like off the scale. In fact, recently I have a lady that watches my pets when I'm away, Michelle, and she discovered a song on my new album that's not a release. It's called Behind My Smile. She went up and made a comment on a post on Facebook about the album, and she said, "I can't stop listening to this song, Diane. It was like it was written and you sung it to me."
Yeah,
You know what? And there's no better reward.
that's the best
Mhm.
compliment anyone can give you, I think, as an
Amen.
artist,
Right.
Absolutely.
because you touched them, and
Mhm.
that's what you want to do. That's why you do all this craziness, and spend so much time,
Speaking of this CD, you have a new CD out. Why don't you talk a bit about it and show it to our viewers?
Lemonade.
Don't you love the
Lem-
name?
I love.
Lemonade freshly squeezed. There's another story there. We won't go into that, but when I announced this back in that I was going to do this album back in actually was it 2015, 2014, and I had been bitten by a brown recluse spider,
Oh dear.
and it nearly took my life. Um,
Gosh.
and so out of that came lemonade. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade,
That's
right?
right.
Oh,
And let me tell you, life really, I mean, it really gave me lemonade. I was in the hospital 6 times.
Oh,
Worse than the wound was actually the emotional and your immune system ride was incredibly crazy. I almost faced having heart surgery
ah,
because the venom went straight to my heart and
oh,
damaged the
oh.
receptors. And they were talking about doing actually going in and blazing those, and they maybe even a pacemaker. But
oh my
uh,
word.
yeah, but I decided to go natural, and let my body heal itself, and it did. It's been a long road back, but as a result of this album and a couple other things that happened when I met up with Jan Cooper and I landed my deal last July with Warner Chappell, and it's an unprecedented deal with the South America office, but it's also international. Uh, he challenged me to, he said, Dianne, I want you to take your songs and I want you to sing them in French. I want you to sing them in Spanish. I want you to sing them in even Mandarin. I'm still working on. French.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you did it though, huh?
It's like how far could you stretch an album, 10 songs, when you sing it in so many different languages? And I said, well, I'm worried about not pronouncing it right. And he was like, you know what, Diane? They just appreciate that you try.
Mhm.
So
Oh.
so I did, the first one I did was In the Rain. I wrote it in English, which was on the previous album. And then I translated it to En la Lluvia. Am I pronouncing that right? My friend, he speaks Spanish a lot better than I do. Um, and then I wrote a song in Spanish, Dime que no decimos adios. And that was the very first hit off of Lemonade.
Wow.
Oh.
Yes.
First Spanish song to have number one. Um, so there's actually, since Secret Lover actually hit number one,
Yes.
it made the 15th number one in a row consecutively for my career.
Wow.
And it's also the 7th number one on this album.
Wow. So you have some great songs on that new CD. Do you? I know this is going to be kind of a weird question, but do you have a favorite on that album? Because I like them all. They're all great songs.
Thank you very much. I do have a favorite. And also it was monumental for my career. And I think it's even bigger than those platinums that you saw, is
Mhm.
10,000 More.
Oh yeah.
10,000 More. It's still touching people.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh.
tell me they can't. And there's one individual, a lady, that she will tell you that it saved her life.
Wow.
It saved her life listening to
That
that
has
song, and
that
still
has
listens.
to mean so much to you when you hear back from your fans and they give you those type of responses and reactions to music. It's not only that they enjoyed your music, but you went even deeper and you kind of helped heal their souls.
That's pretty nice. That is nice. That
Yeah.
that that would be very powerful. So you have been nominated for Grammy Awards at least 5 or 6 times, I believe. Talk a little bit about the good old Grammys and how that must have felt.
Um, it is really cool, and the thing is, I've learned to like kind of, I don't know, see things a little bit more from a grounded perspective. I feel like 10,000 More. It was up in the charts on with every other major artist last year for 11 months. You know what? It was almost like I couldn't kick it off the charts. Uh, it was doing its own thing. It's exciting. It is exciting to have those Grammy nominations. Now, we'll tell you that 3 of them were for my pop album. That year I released 2 albums. One was for my pop album, and 3 were for a alternative album called. And okay, I'm gonna bust this out. Okay, am I gonna say something here? The band's name that I made up is Stiff Kitties.
Okay, I like it. I like
But
it. I don't know
for
if my cat would like it, but yes, that's a great name.
my character, yeah, I've been wanting to do this, ladies, and I've been wanting to combine my resume because it's been bothering me not being able to capture all of my credits in one bucket and have my resume together. Um, Stiff Kitties, my character on stage was Serra de Morte, which means Night of Death, Serage, Morte. Um, so 3 of those Grammy nominations were for an album for Stiff Kitties and Serra de Morte, and 3 were for my Diane album, Read My Mind, which what's exciting about Read My Mind is actually it was mastered at Paisley Park. You know
Oh,
where
okay.
that is.
I think
Oh, yes.
I talked to Prince on the phone,
Wow.
and I know, and it broke my heart when we lost him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
It was
Yes.
very sad.
Called one of the songs. It was a top 10 when Adele had a Rolling in the Deep. I was number 8 with that
Wow.
song that he called out called Tell Me. The other 3 nominations were for an album, my very first Stiff Kitties album called Maya's Book of the Dead. And we were huge over in Europe. And I didn't realize how huge we were. Recently, I made friends with a guy by the name of Harrison Funk. Harrison Funk was Michael Jackson's personal photographer.
Oh, okay. Mhm.
Up online, you'll see pictures on my Facebook of me with us doing the open mouth fly catching smiles. Harris is a cool guy, and we were looking at being my photographer. But anyways, I found out I was talking to him on the phone. We were getting to know one another, and I said, well, I need to kind of tell you about my other type of music that I do. And then when I mentioned Sarah DeMorte, he goes, who's Sarah DeMorte?
The biggest kept secret in the world. Well, it's out now.
He said, oh my gosh, Michael and I discovered your music when we were touring in Europe. A friend of theirs was playing it in club like crazy. I had a track called Sarah DeMorte after my namesake. Evidently, it was huge over there, and I didn't even know.
Wow.
Um, so right now, uh, people have gotten to know you a little bit, and you're just marvelous and so talented. So, where's the best place for them to find you and find your music?
Um, I would say start with my Facebook music. I have 2 that are very active that keep everybody up to date. There's my Dianne's Music, at Dianne's Music on Facebook, and there's also my, it's at Dianne's Music Fans. And I do have a bit of a street team that helps me out. And if you want to send me a message, great. But then from there, you'll see the posts. You'll be able to follow. My music is everywhere on all the major outlets.
Good,
Cool.
good.
All right.
And by the way, Dianne, in case this is the first time you're meeting Dianne, and if it is, where have you been? But her name is spelled Dianne. There's 2 N's in it.
Yes.
So I want you to know that.
One more thing, if I could interject. My main website, I got to tell you, is diannesmusic.com.
Thank you. GiantsMusic.com.
And
Wow. It's amazing.
it's a great website too. So I encourage you to go and see it. But gosh, Dianne, this went so fast. I think I could talk to you for hours, but we are
Me too.
out of time. I hope you'll come back maybe in 6 months or a
Please.
year again and visit us. Let us know what you're up to.
I would love to.
Yes.
Please.
And Dianne, if you have any music, you can send it to Monica in the future. Any songs you'd like her to feature on our radio show,
Sure.
she'd be happy to play them.
We'll get them out and let people
Okay.
know.
I just take you up on that.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's why
absolutely.
we're
That's
here.
what we're here
That's
for.
why we're
That's
here.
what we're-
Like you said, we're all here to help each other, right? That's
That's
the way to go.
Right.
Dianne, it's been such a pleasure, and
Thank you so
I don't
much.
even have to wish you success because you have it.
You are.
And
Grow.
just keep on doing what you're doing, and we'll keep on listening, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. I'm so honored to be on the show. I appreciate it so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care, Dianne. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Dianne, and thanks.
Okay.
Oh, I tell you, Kerry, Diane's wonderful, and she's still here with us. And I'm just going to say one more time that, folks, when you listen to Diane's music or you read about her or you follow her, please, please go to her website, go to her Facebook page, and tell her what you think, because that's the best thing that you can do for any artist, is to let them know how a song has touched you or how you feel about it. Correct, Kerry?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So check her out on Facebook for sure. And You know, this Jimi Hendrix connection is fabulous, and she knows so many has known so many interesting people. It's just amazing.
Oh yeah, I could talk to her for hours. I know it. So maybe that'll just be another interview, right?
Yes, it will be. We will see you again, Dianne.
And with that, Carrie, I know that you're just as ready as I am for some more of her wonderful music. So, folks, until next time, we're going to leave you with this. You keep rocking on. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I give you my heart, all that I am. Please take my love, hold it gently in your hand. Let all your worry just melt away. Here in my arms, it'll be a brand new day. Stormy and the clouds have turned to gray. Never believed in soulmates, in something I can't see. We have a deep connection, I believe in destiny. How can I feel I know you? There's so much I need to say. I think I love you, what makes me feel this way? No longer am I denying what is so plain to see. I just can't keep from thinking you were created just for me. I know that you can feel it deeper than your blood and bone. Come over here and love me, make my heart your home. We're not getting any younger, I'm just waiting for your sign. Why go looking further, let our two hearts entwine. Look in my eyes. desire, a gasp of sweet surrender as passion fuels our fire. Always and forever, you'll be my dream come true. From now until the end of time, I'll love only you. Day, even those we have not seen. You're the one in all my thoughts, living in my dreams. You're the one whose hand is mine, whose lips I can't ignore. You're my life, my world, you're all I adore. Look in my eyes, you'll see the lies we knew before. We had so many lifetimes, there will be 2,000 more. I yearn to kiss your lips again as my hands upon your skin. Breathe you in with all my breath and do it all again. I've never been more certain what I feel can't be wrong. I know you are the soulmate I've been searching for so long. Look in my eyes, you'll see the light.